I think this is the most wide open the NFL's ever been. I want to rattle off the teams right now, the top like four seeds, the division leaders in every conference. So we got Titans, Bills, Ravens, Steelers as of right now. Then we got Packers, Cardinals, Cowboys, Rams, Bucks. The reason why I said the Cardinals and the Rams is because them two, it's like it's almost a shoe-in. Who, unless something bad happens to the quarterbacks, they're going to make the playoffs. One's going to win the division. The other one's going to be the 5 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Probably might even be the favorite against whoever the 4 seed might be, depending on what the matchup turns out to be. But
That's pretty wild.
how do you feel about that? Like, do you agree with me in the sense that I can't narrow down to like this time last year, you knew for certain the Chiefs are going to win the AFC. You just could pencil them in.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, they're cruising. Yeah, they've had some hiccups, but overall, their defense wasn't playing this bad, and you just knew that, all right, this team could go in.
Yeah, I agree completely. There's some comfort, especially, and you tweeted it, with the Chiefs. I wouldn't go as far as saying they're back, but it was good to see them play well and them clicking on offense the way they were. Because now you could put that team back in the hat. Who did you name from that division?
What as
It
far
was
as
it was the Chiefs that you named.
as far as the division leaders?
Yeah, are they? No,
Yeah,
they're tied.
They're the division leader right now. They're
Okay,
in first.
weren't
yeah.
they tied though? They were tied with They weren't tied with. No, Denver lost yesterday.
Everyone had 5 wins in that division
Right,
prior to
okay.
yesterday. Yeah,
Gotcha.
And then when the Broncos and the Chargers lost, the winner of that game last night
Mm-hmm.
would have been first in the division.
Your Super Bowl pick looks really good. The Rams. I definitely have some stock in the Rams. As a big loss with Woods, but it was like it's crazy how that worked out because they actually signed OBJ before that injury.
Right.
So imagine like Green Bay stepped in and got him, and they had a chance to get him, and now they can't get him because Green Bay signed him. So it worked out perfect almost.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because Robert Woods was such a big part of their offense, where getting Odell was a luxury,
I was gonna say, I saw you tweet that. It's a great point.
and now it's a necessity.
And now it's a
Now
necessity.
you need him to elevate and be a.
I'm
who
big
he
now
wants
on
to be.
Van Jefferson. I think it benefits him the most in terms of production because he slides right into the 2 now. I think he's the 2, and then OBJ will work in the slot, and they'll find ways to get him the ball in open field, end arounds or whatever, like a quick slant for him.
Right.
You know how you were a Giant fan when he played on the Giants. You know how
Yeah.
explosive he is. But I think it benefits Van Jefferson the most, and they were big on him. They drafted him to be that guy, and maybe not a 2, but to be a intricate part in their offense.
Well, I also think they let go of Deshaun Jackson. One of the reasons why was to get more targets for Van Jefferson.
Exactly, so they could let him grow.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Rams. I like the Titans. So there's teams that like. So they lost Derrick Henry.
Right.
Huge loss, obviously.
But it's not a season-ending injury, so he'll come back at some point. Now, can they withstand
Took
not
the
having
words
him?
right out of my mouth. They have the easiest schedule now remaining.
Yeah.
Their wins without him have been very impressive.
Yep.
All good signs of a solid ball club where you have your main guy on offense out and you're still competing and dominating. It's fair to say they dominated.
Yeah.
They dominated the Rams, and that was a tough game against New Orleans yesterday too, who was
Yeah,
also
yeah,
needed
yeah.
to win, and they pretty much dominated them too. So I mean, I wouldn't pick them, but that's definitely a team I have my eye on. My Super Bowl pick, the Bucks, had a really bad loss. Are they leading? They're leading the division, right? What are they? 6-2 now.
They're
5-3.
6-3.
6-3. Okay.
They're first in their division. Saints
Okay.
right behind them, 5-4. Carolina now with Cam. Shouts to Cam. We can
Yeah,
wear this again.
great shirt. Yeah, it just feels great. The universe is coming back together. Britney Spears is free.
Let's go.
They said Katy Perry dyed her hair. I saw it on Twitter. Dyed her hair black again. She was
Let's
trying all these funky
go.
different
Yeah, it
hairstyles
was
out.
like pink and shit.
And Lindsay Lohan's acting again. She's acting again.
And Taylor Swift just cut promos on like Jake Gyllenhaal too.
Let's
Just
go. Like the
now.
world's coming back. We got Cam back. Like let's go. I'm winning GPPs again.
There
Like
you go. Let's go. Man.
You're next.
Yeah, hopefully.
So every NFL team has a bad loss.
Right.
Sometimes two.
Yeah.
Throughout the duration of a season. It's a long, gruesome season. So, I mean, and the Redskins, for what they're worth, they're not as bad as their record shows. I mean, they've laid a lot of eggs. Their defense highly underperformed, thus far. They put a really good game together. It was sad what happened with Chase Young.
Out for the year now, 20 ACL.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. I feel
Yeah,
for
because he was
Josh.
getting a lot of heat from people too. He wasn't having as good of a year, and there's some people that felt as if he was overrated too. Like if you look at, he's he's like DK Metcalf in the sense where like dudes just look like they should play football.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have that
Like Hunter
whole-
Renfro.
Yeah. Shout out to Hunter Renfro.
I love that picture.
Yo, that's the
AJ
best
Brown
picture.
and Metcalf shredded, and it's
Yeah.
like Renfro. Like, looks like he works at Blockbuster.
It has a dad bod like
Yeah.
to
Good for
the
him,
10th
though.
power. But yo, Chase Young, yeah, that sucks for them. Taylor Heineke balled out yesterday too.
Yeah.
He just plays well against Tampa Bay. But dude, it's just the NFL is so fascinating. Another reason why is what you were just saying now. How many teams have bad losses? Some have 2, right? Think about this. Denver beats the shit out of the Cowboys last week. It was 30-0. And then they score those 2 garbage time
Yeah, it was
touchdowns.
30-0
It
for
was
all we're
30-0.
concerned.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
counting those garbage TDs.
30-0 on the road against Dallas. Beat the piss out of them. Dallas then obliterates the Falcons, who at the time they were the 7th seed in the playoffs.
Were they really?
Yeah, coming
Wow.
in. The NFC, the wild card is bad. Like Minnesota, I know you have a soft spot for Minnesota.
I do, Uncle Bill. That's why.
For as bad as they've had wins and losses,
Huge win for them yesterday. Huge.
massive, yeah. And they've underperformed. They've been weird, like on upsets and underdogs with Will. I was like, yo, they're just weird, bro. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a perfect way to
Yeah.
just describe them. But going back to that, Denver beats the shit out of the Cowboys. Cowboys beat the shit out of the Falcons. They also destroyed the Eagles. Eagles go into Denver mile high, and Jalen Hurts is MVP. Like
I'm saying, and you guys hate on me because I like Jalen Hurts.
he's a better fantasy quarterback than a real quarterback.
Yeah, that's fair to say. I agree with that. But is he better than Dak? Because he went into Denver and he put up 30 on the
That's-
Broncos, and then Dak was at home
Yeah. And
off of a bye and some rest.
Yeah.
Or no, they weren't on a bye.
Nah, but he was coming off
He was
that
rested,
injury.
yeah. So he was well rested. I mean, he looked fine yesterday. Like
Right.
they just didn't, play
that's
well.
why the NFL is just so strange, man. And then Tampa Bay loses as a double-digit favorite. Yeah, on the road, but also if you factor in they're coming off the bye and they lost prior.
I'd love
going
to
into
see
the bye.
Brady's record off of a bye. It's like Andy Reid probably, right? It's got to
Yeah,
be
he's been-
insane.
Well, last year they came off the bye and they won the 5 straight going into the playoffs. And
That's
then
right.
Just ended up winning the whole Super Bowl. But it's weird, man. Like Buffalo comes back yesterday and steamrolls the Jets. Yeah, I know it's
Saw
the
that
Jets,
coming.
but they dominated them.
Yeah.
But then they lost to the Jaguars. last
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
It's just it's been a wacky season.
Yeah, last week especially. Last week was I got lost in the eliminator pool. I'm still sick about that because you know what? No, because I was gonna take the Steelers or I would have taken the Ravens.
So you would have lost.
So
this
I would have
weekend,
lost.
yeah.
And
I
one
forgot
year,
about the Ravens too on
yeah,
Thursday.
the Ravens exactly. So I thought it was gonna be another one of those weird weeks where it's like, oh my god, just bet all the underdogs now. I like the Bucs still. I mean, it was my preseason Super Bowl pick. The Chiefs are starting to, catch their stride, hopefully. Like you said, it's wide open. But if I had to bet, I know it was a bad loss, but they have a cupcake next week. So let's see how they bounce back. They're at home Monday night against the Giants. Look for them to just obliterate them.
Yo, all I'm saying is this, bro. That Brady sees the Giants logo.
Yeah,
he might get a little nervous.
But Eli number 10 ain't under center though, so
Yeah,
take it
that's a
easy.
fact, that's
It's
a
a
fact.
completely different team. I'm forgetting another team. Buffalo, I do like, but again, I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? If you had to buy stock in a team or bet, like I gave you $1,000 to bet on a team right now to win the Super Bowl, you're gonna go with the team that you picked. Don't be boring. Don't be vanilla.
Nah, no 3 condom sex approach
Two
here.
rubbers.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? We're recording this prior to Monday Night Football. So we haven't seen the Rams with Von Miller and how they work OBJ in. With
Forgot
that
about
said,
Von Miller.
With that said, right now, the favorites, the Bills plus 550, Bucks 6-1, Rams 7-1, Packers and Cardinals plus 850, Dallas 9-1. The next AFC team you see is the Kansas City Chiefs at 10-1. Now this is to win the Super Bowl per win bet. There's a part of me, I want to say the Packers. They're going to get Bakhtiari back. They're going to get Jair Alexander back. And they're going to get one of the Smith boys, Darius Smith, I believe, back. 3 All-Pros from last year. Rodgers coming back too because of the COVID stuff. They lose Aaron Jones for 1 to 2 weeks, MCL. But A.J. Dillon was
will pick up where he left off.
just a baller yesterday. and you still got Devontae, 39. Yeah, bro, is there any other pairing that you'd put your life on the line if needed to get a third down than them two?
Nah. And it's crazy because like they don't even. He'll do like a hand signal, like something like this or like this.
Yeah.
And they'll know what it is. Like it'll be like it won't even be anything crazy, but they're so in sync. For a defender, it's a nightmare. Like a corner, if you got to guard him 1-on-1 for like 5 yards, it's impossible.
So I want to say right now, Green Bay, when you factor in what they're getting back.
And upside.
And yeah, with the upside of the guys coming back. And their division is pretty much locked up.
Yeah.
Only Minnesota.
No, I agree.
Really
I agree. No, I don't think they will.
Yeah.
Big game this week, though. Very big game. If Minnesota can win that game, that helps them. Helps their case.
Let me ask you that question. What team would you pick?
Based off of those odds, the Chiefs, 10-1. You can't count them out.
No.
A lot of people are, and I get it. Yeah, they looked bad, but I mean, they beat a division team yesterday on the road. Actually pummeled them, to be honest with you. That was a statement. Like, don't forget about us.
And also, how about this? They signed Melvin Ingram. He made some big plays for them. Chris Jones, they moved him back inside, right?
His original spot.
His original spot. That's where he became All-Pro, and people were like, "Yo, he's like Aaron Donald kind of impact." Not to that extent, but Aaron Donald is like he's different. Bro.
Once in a lifetime.
Yeah, he's different. He can rush off the edge up the middle, and they got some corners back also. And Darrell Williams is a running back that they could kill the clock with. Dude was playing well.
Using that catch he had too. Come on,
the catch was crazy.
That's insane. As a running back, that's crazy.
Mahomes throws 5 touchdowns yesterday. Of course, none to Kelsey because I played with Captain. That's usually how it goes. But Kelsey killed the Raiders again.
Oh yeah, and he does. But that's okay. Over the middle, like those 15-yard ins or even an out route, whatever. Like just that middle of the field, he owned. So I mean,
listen, man. A lot of people have wanted to see Green Bay and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and right now, from a betting perspective, I would love to bet that as a Super Bowl matchup, and you can right now. You could get 29-1 odds.
My whole thing, especially last year, Brady beat Breeze, Rodgers, and Mahomes. That's the gauntlet. Like, I said it too. I tweeted. I was like, yo, if he goes through these 3 teams and beats them, and they were road teams on every game.
Yeah.
And if he does that, like, come on. So until I see someone beat Brady in the playoffs, because I know the regular season, obviously it's impactful to how the postseason plays out. But for a team like that, they proved it last year. They don't need the top seed. They just need to get into the playoffs healthy, and then it doesn't matter. So I want to see, like, again, I said I like the Bucks because of Brady. And when it comes playoff time, that. It's just certain people are going to perform. And the Achilles heel for the Packers was always the Seahawks. The Seahawks had their number in the playoffs. So now the Seahawks aren't really relevant.